Hey everyone, today is Monday, March 9th, and last week on Monday it was snowing. Happy March 2nd, everyone. And Thursday I started working on the cylinder. This cylinder right here. And here is the dipper cylinder, the top of the cylinder. There's a screw in that cap or gland, you can see it there, that holds it in place. Had to get that out, and then there's 4 little indentation holes in there. Had to take a center punch to it. They do make a tool that goes over there to unscrew that counterclockwise. After it's out, you can see that little hole right there where the screw came out, top of the cap. There's 2 O-rings in there. One of them is oblong and flat, and the other one is round. This is the inside of the gland. One on the outside is the wiper seal, and the tan looking one is the buffer seal. Took these O-rings off. There were 2 of them. One's a flat ring, and one's a rounded ring. And you could, I don't know if you can see or not with the lighting or not, but it was pretty rusty in there. And I have some special files, keep them clean, and just go over it and clean it because the wire brush just isn't getting it, and it'll round it off real bad. So just cleaning that up a little bit, getting all the rust out, because the O-rings are going to go back in here. And I'm not using any parts cleaner now. I did earlier when I took the seals out. Now I've got the seals in. I did that first. And as you can see, this right here, the lip is facing that way, and then this one, the lips are facing this way. That's complete, and I put a little sealant, gasket sealant on the outside of this and tapped it in and got it so that it was flat right here in the bottom. Now, clean this up. Like I said, no parts cleaner now because I got these seals in and I don't want it to get on that buffer seal and the wiper seal. So now I'm just cleaning this and then taking the air nozzle and blasting that off and then drying it off with a towel. I'm going to let this, I'll put these O-rings on with some little bit of hydraulic fluid on the O-rings. And then I'm just going to let this thing set probably for 10 hours. And I'm going to work on the other seals. And what it is, I want this sealant here to dry real good. And then I'll put that cylinder back together. If this cylinder was newer, there's this one. And it's, it's got the lips facing right there. There's a groove in that, if you can see it or not. But in this cap, there's no groove. And if there was a groove in there before that, right there, this seal here, it would go in front of that one, according to the newer ones. And this is just a wear seal. There's no room for me to even put that anywhere. It must be something that is newer. The kits for the newer cylinders, I'm just putting in there what the old cylinder had in it. Looking at this end cap, the buffer seal, the tan looking one that's wider that I installed, it is difficult to put in there. I put lots of hydraulic fluid on it, and it's soft enough to bend it inward like a snap ring on a U-joint cap. But I got it in there and give it some time to relax. You got to wait for a while, and then it'll move itself in. There's no numbers on it anyways. It's a 4-inch cylinder. And this is the piston. It comes apart. See there, it's split. It comes apart and there's an O-ring. 2 of them. There's 4 of them. Well, right now it's 3 on this side, 3 on this side. There's a wear ring in the middle. But the new kit has 4. There is a direction now. I'm not going to mess with it right yet. but one side of these rings right here are rounded, and then the back side is flat. So when I do that, I need to pay attention how this one is. The ring, okay, the outside part of this piston is rounded right here. Because it fit, there's a groove up in there. See that groove down in there? That ring fits in there. And this side's the same way. There's a groove in it facing that way. So they'll pinch in. And this is the shaft. It's a 2-inch shaft. That piston bolts up right here. This is a picture of the cap and the wiper seal. It's all dried up now. The sealant that I put around that seal into that cap or gland. I put some hydraulic fluid on the shaft, put it on the seal, and I got to put it on first before I put the piston in place on the end of the shaft. Got the bolt in, put some 2050 weight oil on the threads and on the threads inside the shaft. I got it snug, but it's not torqued. And I'm guessing there's probably 250 foot-pounds on there, maybe more. So I want to get this set up, have about a 4-foot cheater bar on it, and impact that down so that it's tight. I'm going to slow down and show you a picture of this piston. Now, do not separate the piston rings when they come out of the package. They all fit into each other, and the rounded area goes towards the center. Each one of them is the way it's made to be put together. Got the piston started. If you can see, this portion right here is actually wider than over here because of the threads. But they spread that out and then they threaded it. So when it goes in real good until it gets to here. And you gotta lubricate this with hydraulic fluid really good in the piston and the rings. Just take your time. Just work it in there. Get past that wear ring. Get it in there, and then it just slides really good. But get plenty of oil in here so that it really lubricates it really good so it slides in nice. The two portal-holes that the hydraulic fluid goes into the cylinder, I've got it facing down so that it can drain if necessary. I took my time getting it started, and I tapped it lightly, and I let it sit there for a little while until it relaxed when it was back here. Now I'm cruising with it now. I want it to be square as it goes in. It goes in way easier if it's not dogleg. It probably would be better to use a giant brass hammer or a rubber mallet than this 4-pound. All right, I'm going to leave it right there. That's about where it was when I took it apart. I'll thread that back in here. And then it's got, once it's threaded up, I'll get it tight. And there's an alignment pin that screws down into it, and that's how I know where the location is at. Got it running again, and checked the fluid again, because it was, after filling this cylinder, I must have put another 2 gallons in it, of course. It's just a little wet there, but it's not leaking. It's doing good. There's some oil up there from it coming in and out. Looks good so far. Used to, it was just running out of there. This one was running out of here too, out of this system right here. Put a couple of quad seals in it to fit it, and you can see some bubbling right there a little bit. But it's not running out of it. It's running right down through there. So anyways, I'm gonna pick this thing up and go run around here a little bit. See how she runs again. Like I said, I greased everything. Power steering and it's ready to go. Turn around and back out of here. I want to keep digging here. The reason I'm digging is that burn pile right there. My plans are to push it over into the hole, burn it, and make ash out of it. Not sure if anyone has noticed, but there's 3 piles of dirt there. One of them is darker than the other 2, and that is the topsoil. I decided to separate the topsoil from the lower subsoil. That way when I backfill it, at least I can get some good grass growing right there, right? So that's the reason I did that. We always did that, always, when we were pipelining also. We would separate the first 2 feet and we would go across to farmer's field. So, something I learned. Well, welcome back. It's been a few days. Finished pushing over this pile that was right here, and got the lumber started. The video has been about the cylinder, but you can see the older tractor, it did the job. The newer tractors, yeah, they're way faster. They got higher pressures probably. The tractor does its job. Done a lot of work with some of the field tile that's around here, but I didn't want to burn that stuff just on top. It's a little windy still right now. We've had some good cold weather this year, but there's been some snow as well, but we're dry compared to the years in the past. Where I'm standing right now, normally there would be about a foot of water because the ground was froze and it had not washed away yet. But I wanted to get this done. I didn't want to catch anything on fire. There's thousands of acres of corn stubble that is around me, and I just didn't want to catch anything on fire, so I put it down below. It's backfilled now, a little hump to it, but you can see the dirt is darker. I put it back. It was that third pile back there. So hope everyone enjoyed the video. If you seen something that you don't understand, let me know. But those O-rings definitely will bend a little bit. That white one, that buffer seal, it amazed me how it would bend, and you could roll it in. Don't be using any sharp objects to roll it in, and use a lot of hydraulic oil, but eventually it'll go in. Just give it some time and it'll settle in.